If you have a hypervisor cluster, then there are going to be times when you want to migrate a virtual machine from one node to another. Now, if that traffic is going over a management interface, it can cause remote connectivity problems. Or if the actual speed of that management interface is low, then it's going to take a long time to actually move that virtual machine. On the other hand, if that traffic is actually going over an interface that users are connecting to virtual machines are on, then the users might experience connectivity problems just due to the sheer amount of data that's being transferred between the two hypervisors. Now, if your hypervisors have got multiple physical interfaces or partitioned interfaces, then you can actually assign dedicated interfaces for different purposes. But how do you actually configure Proxmox VE to use a specific interface for migration traffic? Well, if that's something that you're interested in finding out, then stick around and watch this video, because that's what we'll be going over. Now, for this to be of any use, your nodes are going to need either multiple physical or partitioned interfaces. Using multiple logical interfaces isn't really going to achieve anything, because typically you can't actually restrict the amount of bandwidth that an actual logical interface has. In which case, if your actual server does have one physical interface but multiple logical interfaces, the problem is any one of those logical interfaces can consume the entire bandwidth of that physical interface. So in this example that I've got here, all of the nodes that I've got set up have all got the same interfaces, and there are multiple interfaces. Each one is dedicated for a specific purpose. So as you can see here, they're all going to have this interface ENS193 in this example, which will be assigned specifically for migration traffic. Now, according to the documentation, by default, the migration traffic should be being sent over the cluster interface. Now, when I built this cluster, each of the nodes had multiple interfaces, and one was going to be assigned to be the cluster interface. So as you can see, they've all actually got an interface in the 172.16.23.0/24 network. That is my cluster network. So that's where we should be seeing traffic being sent over. Now, if I click on that virtual machine there, then click on migrate. I want to migrate this from node 1 to node 2. Click migrate. Now, note the IP address here, 172.16.19.11. It's not 23.11, it's 19.11. Now, that actually is my management interface. Now, if I run a Wireshark capture on that interface, I will see this SSH traffic that it's referring to actually going over the management interface and not the cluster interface. Now, I say the management interface, it's actually the first interface that Proxmox VE was actually created with. In other words, when I installed Proxmox VE on these computers, they had one interface, and that's just remained as the actual management interface. But technically it doesn't really matter, because we're going to be moving this anyway, but it's just something I thought worth pointing out. Now, unlike some other interfaces, the migration interface requires a system change. Before we do that, it's best to actually check that we do actually have an interface on all of our servers that's in the same network. So on node 1 here, I've got ENS193, that's in the 172.16.24 network. I'll go to node 2, ENS193, that's also in the same network. Node 3, that's also got an interface in the same network as well. So now that we know we've got an actual interface in the actual proper network for each of our servers, I'm going to go to Data Center, then here to Options, and then we'll select this setting here, Migration Settings. We'll click Edit, and then from the actual drop-down menu here, we'll pick out that 172.16.24 interface. It's very specific because it's picking out the one for node 1. But you should be able to identify it by the actual network anyway, or the interface number or name if they're all identical. In my case, I've got comments against these actual interfaces, which also helps, but I'll select that. I'll then click on OK. And that's basically it. we've made a change and it just takes effect. It will get replicated out to the other nodes. But it doesn't even need a reboot for the actual change to actually take effect. So it is pretty easy to actually change this actual interface. So now that we've made that change, we should find that our migration traffic goes over our dedicated migration interface. So if I pick out this virtual machine here and then select migrate, just make sure that we're going to migrate from node 2 to node 1, click migrate, and yeah. Now, chances are you won't actually have this problem, but the reason I've run into this issue is because I'm taking advantage of the actual firewall within Proxmox VE. In which case what I need to do is to actually allow this traffic within the actual firewall rules. Now I won't go into too much detail about the actual firewall settings, simply because I've got another video that goes over this in more detail. So if you are interested in how to actually configure the firewall in Proxmox VE, then do check that other video out. But basically what I've got here is a rule to drop all inbound traffic on that interface, and that's why the actual transfer just isn't taking place. It's being dropped by this rule. Higher up, what I've done is to insert a security group, and what this is going to do is to allow SSH between the nodes on those actual interfaces. So what I did was to create some aliases. So I've got one for migration for node 1, for node 2, and for node 3. I've bundled all those into an actual IP set here. So you can see I've got a node migration IP set that contains all 3 of those aliases. And then I've created a security group which is called migration access. If we edit that, I've just picked out the SSH macro because that was easy enough. That's the only traffic we need. These nodes are just going to be tunneling traffic backwards and forwards to each other through SSH. So I just need to reference the source and destination as being their actual migration interface IP addresses. So if you go back to our firewall, then I need to enable that rule to actually allow that traffic going forward. So if I pick out my virtual machine again, click on migrate. Again, I want to go from node 2 to node 1. Click on migrate, and there we go. It says use dedicated network address for sending the traffic. So it's sending to 172.16.24.10. So as you can see, it is going over the proper interface now. It started the process off, and as you can see, it's using SSH. So it's just transferring that actual data across, and it's going over the correct interface. So it's pretty easy to set this up. In summary, it's really a case of going to your data center, going to options, and then here within your migration settings option, you would change the interface there. But you do need to be careful if you have actually got the firewall configured that you allow that traffic through as well. Now, if you find this video to be useful, then do consider subscribing to the channel, as that would really mean a lot to me. But it's also a good indicator to let me know how videos like this are helpful to people such as yourself that are watching. In which case, thank you. On the other hand, if you're not ready for that level of commitment, then I'd really appreciate it if you could press the like button, because that way that'll help to get the video out to other people that might find it useful as well.